All right, so that's a great question. And I know now that we are going through some changes with Amazon, and Amazon has suspended some accounts for alleged terms of service violations. So when you get unsuspended, you basically got to do a relaunch. So it's a very, very timely question. I've seen a couple of people in AOE asking that. So first thing to consider is this. Why exactly, or should I say, what exactly are you trying to achieve by doing a relaunch? So a couple of different reasons you would want to do a relaunch, and it's important that you distinguish between those. So reason number one would be if your product has simply lost rank in the search engine results page. So when somebody comes onto Amazon and they do a search for whatever it is that you are selling, and then over time other people are launching on here, they usurp you in the positions, etc., etc., etc. So you may have found that you're no longer ranking on page one, and therefore it's a good idea to do a relaunch. Well, if that is the situation, then your relaunch is actually pretty simple. Very, very simple to do. For the most part, depending on the marketplace, depending on the competitiveness of the niche, but all you need to do is reteach Amazon that when somebody searches for your given niche and then finds your given product, they then go ahead and buy it, thereby telling Amazon that if they recommend your product in the search engine results page, they will make money. Now, let me give you a visual demonstration of all that, because it's easier to show you visually than it is to show you something else. Somebody give me a product niche that we can go after. Actually, I'll give you one that I've just been doing here in backpacks. All right, Walter, thanks for that. I was going to give you one I've just been doing, but let's go with yours instead, backpacks. Don't know if that's 2 words. There it is, backpacks. So if I do a search for backpacks on Amazon, this is Amazon Australia, what I'm then presented with is the search engine results page, which we're going to shorten to SERPs. And what we now are trying to do is we're trying to get Amazon to replace our product high up in this search engine results page, so people find it relatively quickly, customers find it relatively quickly, and then go ahead and buy it. So the process is something called search, find, buy, and all you need to do is get, typically, certainly in Australia, doesn't matter a niche in Australia, certainly in Australia, 5 people spread out over a week or maybe 2 to come to Amazon, type in your main search term that you're trying to rank for, backpacks, and then come and find your thing. It's interesting, look at all these sponsored products that are just going to do nothing. Come and find your thing, and that's an interesting place to place that there. Look at Amazon playing around with the search results page there. And they come and find it, and we say, there it is. So there's a backpack, and that's Walter's backpack. I don't know if it is or not, but that's Walter's backpack. So then based on that, they search for the product, they find the product, they click through, and then they buy the product. So they add it to cart and they buy the product. That's search, find, buy. 5 people doing that for you will reboost your product back onto page 1, certainly in Australia, oftentimes in all other markets as well. It won't work in America on very competitive niches. You'll need more than 5. But search, find, buy is the best way to relaunch if the problem is that you've simply lost rank. That's the problem. So that's that. So that's one relaunch strategy that you would consider. However, it could be that your product needs to relaunch because it stopped making sales. Now, a few different reasons that your product stops making sales, and this is a more difficult thing for the launch process. So first of all, let's look at the reasons why you may have stopped making sales. Reason number 1 could be a seasonal product. Could be as obvious as it's a seasonal product and you're trying to sell the product out of season. Well, clearly you would know yourself if you've got a seasonal product, and the best time to launch a seasonal product is 3 to 4 weeks before the season commences. That's the best time to launch that seasonal product. So there's that. Could be that your product simply has gone out of vogue. And let's take an example of that. Let's take the example of fidget spinners. So fidget spinners went mental on Amazon. Folks made millions, multi-millions on Amazon selling them. And then overnight they died a death and no longer does anybody search for them. So if you're trying to sell fidget spinners, it's because, and you're not selling them, it's because your product is no longer in vogue. It's no longer trendy to actually sell it. So you've just kind of got to get out of it. You've missed the boat. You've got to get out of it. All right. Another thing could be that you've simply been out-marketed. So you've got other people entering that marketplace and they've got deeper pockets than you and they're better marketers than you are. And so what they have been able to do is outspend you and outmarket you. Now, if that's the case, again, you've either kind of got to wait for them to blow all their cash, or you've got to dig deeper and work out how much money you can spend on your product to get it to rank again. Again, search, find, buy, probably the best strategy for that. But if you've got a lot of money going into that, then you'll need to get more people to search for it, find it, and buy it. So you've got to take that into consideration. Finally, it could be that you've just got more competitors coming into the niche. So you've got more and more people pouring into the niche, and your opportunity for cheap, fast money has gone. For cheap, fast money has just kind of gone. And that sucks when that happens. And oftentimes it can happen. I mean, I do it sometimes when I'm looking at a niche and we look at the niche, and right at that particular moment in time, the niche makes perfect sense, makes utter sense to get into. Not many competitors, plenty of people searching for it, etc., etc. Everything stacks up. And so you get to work, you go and find your product, and you go and work with your supply. And it can take you, of course, sometimes 4 or 5 months for that product idea to come to fruition and be live on Amazon. And in 5 months on Amazon, the whole market could have moved, and you could now be going into a product category where all of a sudden it's very competitive. Things move fast on Amazon. So it could be that as well. And if that happens, then you're kind of shit out of luck. You're kind of shit out of luck. You've kind of missed the boat. You just got to get out of a stock, move on. Which is why, by the way, that's one of the many reasons I tell you only to buy a couple of hundred at the most, 100 to 200 units at the most when you're getting into a niche, because you've got to kind of suss these things out. You've got to see how they're working. So, Kate, as you can see, the reason that your product is not ranking anymore will have a huge influence on the strategy you undertake to get it to rank, or indeed if you decide to carry on trying to get it to rank, you may decide to get out of it. Will have a huge influence on that, Kate. So I hope I gave you some good ideas there about different strategies to undertake in different circumstances, but that's going to be something for you to consider. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.